Alright, quite enough of that. Yes, everybody, it was a wonderful night for Oscar. Oscar. The artist won, Billy Crystal. That's who will win. Yes, so don't ask me again, or I will answer it again. And I gotta say, guys, after the disastrous Oscars last year, these were very surprising to me. I actually really enjoyed this year's Oscars. Before I talk about the winners, let me just get into the actual show itself. I really enjoyed, one of my main complaints last year is that they were just trailing off every 2 seconds. This is the history of Gone with the Wind, which just so happened to be made 55 and a half years ago this year. Yay! And while I'm all for saluting film history, in a show that has to stay in a certain time frame, I felt like they were just trailing off way too much, moving the set around and doing way too much paying tribute and not creating enough great Oscar moments for this generation. And this ceremony was much more concerned about moving things forward, getting the categories announced, doing some performances, getting the good stuff in. Sure, there were some random tributes, but they actually made sense. And they were nice. They were well-edited tributes, and I enjoyed them. And I also really enjoyed the thing with the stars talking about what movies meant to them. I really enjoyed those little bits. And my other complaint, which was appeased, was James Franco and Anne Hathaway did an awful job last year hosting, and this year they got the man who's an absolute expert at this by now, 9-time Academy Award host Billy Crystal. And I gotta say, the guy did a pretty good job, but he was a little disappointing, but still, Billy Crystal on a disappointing day is way better than what James Franco and Anne Hathaway were able to pull off. Who is texting me? My main weakness of Billy Crystal is that his medley, you know, the thing where he goes, "It's a wonderful night for Oscar," was a little weak this time. Not only was his mic or his projection really off, because I couldn't really hear what he was saying, but his content just wasn't as funny this time. But it also was just kind of, because it was rushed because there were 9 nominees. But other than that, just when it was just him cracking jokes, he was great, and he did everything that an Oscar host should. But you don't want to hear about that. You're saying, Movie Kid Mike, talk about the winners, please. You're killing me, man. Well, I'm gonna do that. The winners, I was pretty satisfied with, even though I have to admit I haven't seen a whole ton of the movies that were nominated, including The Artist, The Iron Lady, The Tree of Life. I haven't seen a lot of these. So when The Artist won, I wasn't going, yes, perfect. In fact, I was kind of rooting for Hugo to pull an upset just because there can be an upset one time at the Oscars. But besides that, I was fairly satisfied, except for the fact that I really felt like George Clooney needed to win Best Actor for The Descendants because, man, that was such a deep performance. That was George Clooney stripped down to the bone, and he just did an excellent job. And I feel like this John Dujardin guy just kind of came out of nowhere and robbed him. Also, Meryl Streep, I wish Rooney Mara would have won, but I knew she didn't really have a chance. But, let's see, who else won? Christopher Plummer and Octavia Spencer in the supporting categories were expected. I have to say, there are no real surprises this year, besides the fact that Hugo was sweeping every category in the beginning. That's what made me think Hugo was going to pull an upset, but there are no real surprises at the Oscars. I should have known. Silly me. I enjoyed the presenters a lot. I thought that Robert Downey Jr., Gwyneth Paltrow, Chris Rock, Emma Stone, Ben Stiller, that everybody did a great job presenting this year. They actually tried to add a little more humor to their presenting, which I really liked. Other categories I was satisfied with while they're on the mind. I was happy that Rango won Best Animated Feature. Crap, I just lost my train of thought, guys. Hold on one second. I've got it. Right. I'm happy that Man or Muppet won Best Original Song, even though there really was no doubt that was going to happen. I mean, Rio winning an Oscar is not really a likely prospect. Overall, guys, I gotta say, I really enjoyed this show. I haven't seen a whole ton of the nominees, but I enjoyed it. It moved. That was the main thing. It actually moved for once. And the presenters were great. Billy Crystal was good. The Cirque du Soleil performance was awesome. This was a good show, and I'm satisfied with the winners, and I enjoyed watching it a whole lot. But I'm warning you, Academy. If you don't nominate Dark Knight Rises next year, I'm going to rip your... Never mind that. That was my thoughts on the Oscars, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed them. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. And until next time, I'm Movie Kid Mike, making sure your time is worth your money.